Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Martha with Bird and Barn Designs, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video to celebrate Angeldreamcraftskim 6th anniversary, and we are doing a hop with the Paris theme, and there's going to be a giveaway for everyone who will follow all of the links that will be linked in the description box below to all of the designers that have made a video for the hop. And you must subscribe to everyone's channels and comment on all of the videos, and you can be entered into a drawing to win a $40 Angeldreamcraftskim gift certificate. And Angeldreamcrafts is a shop on Etsy, and I will show you the information here. This is Kim's information. It's an Etsy shop. She handles beautiful laces, trims, embellishments, all kinds of goodies. Here is the rest of her information: angeldreamcrafts@gmail.com. Instagram is angeldreamcraftskim, and Angeldreamcrafts on YouTube. And I will link her information below, and we'll look at this again at the end of the video in case you want to write that down. So one of her designers, Amy Love, she designed a set of digitals with a Paris theme, and we were to use the digitals to create this hop project. So I would like to show you what I made. I decided, since it was a patisserie theme with the cute little bakery goods and pastries and croissants, that I would make a little recipe holder. So I came up with this design. It is some envelopes that I tea-dyed and put together, and we'll look at the construction in a moment. And I just think it turned out so cute. So I used this fabric that my sweet friend Debbie sent me, and it is so beautiful. I'll show you a piece so you can see, since it's heavily embellished on the front. But this is what the fabric looks like, and I just love it. It's got Paris scenery on there. Let's see, there's the Eiffel Tower. Let's see, here we go. There's the Eiffel Tower. It's got these beautiful crests on there. The beautiful soft pinks and the neutrals together look so pretty. So I used that for the base, and then I embellished it with Kim's laces. So there's the back. And when I opened my design team package for my guest spot with Kim, it was tied up with this beautiful pink ribbon, and I thought that would make a perfect closure for this. So this is my guest design team project for her shop. And we shall take a look at what's going on here. So I put the fabric down, and then I had this other fabric that says Paris. It was in a long roll. So I just cut out the word Paris and layered that on there, put a little bling trim on there. And on Amy's digitals, let me show you kind of where we started on that. So she had these sweet digitals, all kinds of little goodies you would find in a pastry shop. And I will link her shop as well. These will be in her Etsy shop also. And then there was some ephemera page. So I've cut out some of them that I've used in the project. And this is one of them here, some little macaroons. And then I've got the word patisserie there. And then I've lined this in this beautiful trim. Let's see here if I can. I tried to pull a few out so you can see what they look like. So that is that trim down the side. That's really beautiful. And then this trim on the bottom I cut out pieces of, and that is this one. And as you can see right here, I cut out this part right here on the top, and then I use this part on the back for the back of the envelope. And I put a little Paris, a little Eiffel Tower dangle on there. I thought that was so fun. and then we'll open it up. This came out of my stash. It's some cheesecloth that was dyed, some pink organza that I singed the edges around, and then some little laces and things from my stash. And then this is actually one of the flowers out of here, out of that lace. So then we open it up and we have the first page. And again, I did some collaging. I used some appliques that I got from Kim's shop, and that was this one. And you'll see this throughout the little booklet here. And I just cut up bits and pieces and used that. And I used a tea-dyed paper doily for a backdrop on that, and then just did some collaging, the little one of Amy's ephemera pieces. And then in the little envelope slot, I tucked a postcard and then a little recipe card. And I did some collaging. This is a piece of that trim that was on the front edge here. And I used that for a little pull, for a little topper. Put some little pearls on there, and on the back is a recipe card that you can write a recipe. So what I've done is I have attached 5 envelopes together. So you'll see, you open that up and then there's the flap to that one. And then on this one, we've got another recipe card with some seam binding, one of the flowers out of that other trim that I just showed you, that lace, that's a piece of that as well. Did some little lace out of my stash, and then again on the back is the recipe card, and then another little postcard. And I thought these would be cute to write recipes on too. You could write a little recipe name on there. You could write, say it was your grandmother's recipe, you could write little notes about that and then put the recipe on the back. And then you've got your actual recipe card there. So there is that one. And then we turn the page over, and we've got some macaroons from the ephemera, and then some collaged laces there. And inside we've got another recipe card. And this trim here, this lace here, is a big wide piece. And I've used that in several areas of this one too. That is this piece right here. I think this one's really beautiful. So I've cut bits and pieces and used them. I cut, well, this is the bottom of the lace, but I flipped it up so it kind of went on the top there. And then you can see the pretty little florals here. And then this is Amy's bow from her ephemera. And then some crinkled seam binding out of my stash. And then the recipe card. And then another sweet little postcard with the Eiffel Tower. So that's that one. And in this one, we've got a little coffee. I thought the latte colored seam binding looked really pretty with the little latte digital. And that is coffee dyed. And then here, this little flower I think is so sweet. That is a charm that is from Kim's shop. And then, of course, the card on the back, and then another sweet little postcard. And for the lining of all of these envelopes, I had a 12 by 12 paper pad, and I never ever use paper pads, but I had it from years ago from card making, and it had a Paris theme. So I don't know if you can see. This was kind of a plain stripe page that went with the other things. Here's a little macaroons on that one. I thought that was so cute. And then over here, there's cheers, and there's like ooh la la and different words. And then here I have used a piece of another lace from Kim's shop, and I just cut a little piece out and put it there. Did some stenciling. And then on the back, we've got an envelope that I've trimmed in pearls, used a piece of that other lace, and you open it up, you've got the Eiffel Towers here. And inside I tucked in just a bunch of little goodies. So we've got a couple of cards that can be used for recipe cards or note cards. Put that in there. Then we've got a little envelope. It says patisserie. And inside I have tucked some ephemera pieces that I did not use in here, so the recipient can use those in their own recipe books, or they can embellish this one further. So here's some little words. Got bon appetit, latte, petite, something that I can't pronounce, something French, and macaron. So those are fun. We tuck that in there, and then we've got the little ephemera pieces. We've got a little oven mitt. We've got a little wooden spoon, some macaroons here, and a latte. And the large macaroon and the smaller one. So we just tuck those in the little paper clip and put those in there, and they can be used for something fun. And then I just tucked a couple little pieces of the trims that I used in there. I thought those were so sweet. Since they were all throughout the book, I thought it was fitting to tuck them in the little envelope. So there's that one. And then this envelope has the beautiful Eiffel Tower. And I just closed it with a little mini paper clip, and I put some crinkled seam binding on there. And inside we have a couple of the journaling cards. Those are cute. So those can be used further. You can write recipes on them, little notes. You can use them as gift cards. All kinds of things you can do with them. So that tucks in there. Get that in there so I don't want to tear it. Let's see. There we go. So that just tucks in and then closes. So then we're going to flip-flop it this way. So it's kind of like a little flip-flop situation. You've got one side and then the other. So here I've collaged down here with some of the ephemera pieces. This again is another piece of that pink applique there and there. Used another piece of trim. Let's see, do I have that one out? I don't know if I have that one out. Let's see. No, I didn't keep that one out. That is another lovely trim that I got in Kim's shop. And then I just embellished the top of a journaling card there. I thought that looked so pretty. And then this is a little heart doily that was in Kim's shop, and I used that as a tuck spot. And then over here is a beautiful piece of lace, and it is a real long piece, and there again you can cut out little bits and pieces of that one. I love the laces that you can cut out and use. So I've tucked in two little journaling cards in there that I've embellished with the laces. So this one is actually this lace here, I believe. Let me grab the right one. So it's this lace here, and look at how beautiful this is. I love how it dips down and kind of dangles down there. So what I've done is I've cut out right here, and I use that for the topper right here. Put some little lace out of my stash behind it and just embellished it that way. And this was more of the wide lace, this one here, that wide one, and I just made a little bow out of it and tied it with some seam binding, added some little pearl embellishments. So those tuck in there. And I think they look so cute poking out the top. And then on this page we have a couple more, and I brought that lace all the way around. So we've got a couple more. So this is a piece out of this trim here. That's that piece, and I flipped it upside down and put a little bow on it to make the topper for that card. And then for this one, I used a little piece of lace out of my stash. That's what's backing the envelopes right here. And then I just used a piece of that trim that was on the front cover and made a little centerpiece on that. So that's fun. And then on this side, I collaged a belly band. So let's pull the ephemera pieces out, and you can see the belly band here. So I took a strip of cardstock and I layered it. There's again that long, that wide lace, and then some of the appliques there. There's a little croissant. Oops, got kind of bent. There's a little croissant right there from the ephemera, the little latte. We've got the Eiffel Tower in the back here to carry on our Paris theme. And then I made a couple journaling cards to embellish to put in the belly band. So that one, and then this one again, that's that wide lace again, and I just ran it this way rather than up and down. Put a little pearl in the flower there and use some of that other trim that we used on the front. And I think those look so pretty. So we just slide those in the belly band. And I just love all the little shabby laces, the little bits and pieces sticking out, and then we're back at the front. So that's how it looks when you flip-flop it. Here is how it looks when you open it up. And I think it's so cute because then you can see all of the little embellishments, all of the fun things. And then we accordion it up and we flip it. And there you have that side. I just think it turned out so, so sweet. I just love it. And what I love about this is, say, maybe you're a grandma and you have a granddaughter and you've got some special recipes you want to carry on and pass down. I think this would be a darling little idea to put special recipes, use the note cards to write little special notes. If you're a mom and want to leave it to someone, just any kind of a gift idea like that, where you pass down some treasured family recipes to the next generation. I just think that's so fun. It'd be super cute for a girl going off to college, for her first apartment, a little housewarming for a first home or an apartment. I think there's just all kinds of fun things you can use that for. So that is the Paris themed recipe holder. And we'll tie that back up with that pretty pink ribbon. And then I wasn't finished playing yet, so along with that, I decided I was going to do some little wooden spoons for the kitchen. So I took Amy's ephemera pieces and I decoupaged those on the little wooden spoons, tied them together with the pink shabby ribbon, and then this beautiful floral piece was on Kim's package that she sent for the design team package. So I used that to use as a centerpiece on the bow. So we've got that, and we've got the little recipe book. And I think that's so cute how the little macaroons match and it all kind of ties in together. And then I have this vintage rolling pin, and I was going to glue this on, but I decided since it was vintage, I would not glue it. So what this is, it is on with double-sided tape. And I took a piece of Kim's lace and I cut out, let's see, let's put that down a moment. So I used this lace. Isn't this beautiful? Let me get the right side here. So here we go. I used this lace and I cut out one of these whole sections. That is just beautiful. So I double-sided taped on that, and I figured if it ever needed cleaning, it would be easy to, you know, just take it off and clean it. I might need to add another tape or two in there, but I think it was so sweet. And then the vintage pin had a hole in it over here, so I tied some of the seam binding that I've used inside the book and made a little floofy bow on there, so if you hang it on a hanger, then this will dangle down. And in the center of that, I used one of the charms from Kim's shop, a pretty little heart with a pink bow. So there is that. And then to finish the little set off, I collaged some little treat bags, some coffee stained glassine bags. And I used the ephemera from Amy's kit and did a little collaging, trims from Kim's shop, and then tucked little card inside there as well. So you could tuck a little treat in there. You can use it for a little note card, a gift tag. And there again, some of the trim from Kim's shop and then Amy's ephemera. So there you have it. That is the little recipe set with a Paris theme for Kim's 6th annual hop. So again, I buried her card. Let me see, where did I put it? I said I was going to show it again, but I think I buried it in all these goodies places. Here it is. Okay, so here we go. Angeldreamcraftskim on Etsy. Hope you can see that. And then for the hop, you're going to look in the description box below. You're going to follow each one of the designers, and you're going to leave a comment on their hop video. And you will know that it's the hop video because we will all have the same picture on the beginning of our videos. It will say Angeldreamcraftkim's hop. So, and it'll have the Paris theme on there. So you'll be able to tell very easily, and follow the designers beyond the hop as well, because Kim has some really talented designers on her team, and you're going to want to follow them anyway just to see all of the beautiful projects that they make. So thank you so very much, Kim, for inviting me to be on the hop. I so appreciate it. I've had so much fun working with all the pretties. I hope you liked my little project, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video, y'all. Bye.